Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be talking to you about flighted wedges. Well, what is a flighted wedge? Again, another sexy terminology for something that can confuse many. Flighted wedge, the way I would perceive it to be, is something lower, less spin, more through the wind, and travelling forwards. I think in many people's understanding of wedge play is want loads of flight and want loads of spin. If you've seen one of my other videos on spin, what gets the ball to stop on the green, it's not just spin, it's land angle as well, but I'm not going to go back over that because I've already done a video on that. Today I want to talk to you about how you might want to play lower, more forward wedge shots so that you can feel like you've gained a little bit more control. So I'm going to start off with just playing my 58 degree and I'm going to play a shot to 80 yards. So 58 degree wedge for me, I can get this about 110 on a good day. Again, I should really warm up and hit shots before these videos. So we've got the carry box up, we've got the height box up and the spin rate box up. The reason why I put carry and height up more than anything else is because obviously the carry point, I've got 3 different golf clubs here which I'll come on to in a second. The carry is obviously our number to the flag. Our height is the traj that we're going to start to see the ball at in the sky, and of course the spin rate is something that's going to either make us feel like the ball is going forwards or stalling in the air. So here we go with the lob wedge, the 58 degree, and I'm going to try and hit this around the 80-yard mark. Let's see how I did for 80 yards. 88, so a bit too far. A flight of 65 feet in the air and a spin rate, predicted spin rate, that when it's an italic number, it means it's a predicted spin rate. Let's go again. Let's see if we can just take a little bit more distance off that. So we get that to 80 yards. Only took a yard off of it. You can see now the spin rate is not predicted. It's now a solid 10,600. Same sort of height though. Come on, Stuart, take another 7 yards off it for me, please. There we go. So pretty close to 80 yards, 78.8. Now, height was at 55 feet. It's a standard lob wedge shot. So I'm now going to grab my pitching wedge and I'm going to try to hit an 80-yard shot with my pitching wedge. Let's watch what happens to the height and let's watch what happens to the spin rate. This wedge for me would go about 150, about 145 as a total number. So I'm going to hit this around the 80-yard mark, which isn't going to be a number that I'm used to playing it with. So that was quite soft for me. That's still gone quite a ways. Let's go again. What you've noticed is all of a sudden that spin rate has gone from 10,500 now at 6,300. Take another 20 yards off. .92, I'm getting closer. Now we're down to 5,600 revs. .89, 5,700 revs. Man, this ball's going a long way. So see if we can get it slightly shorter. So 84. So now the ball flight at 45 feet has come down from 65 feet, and the spin rate has gone from 10,500 revs to 5,600 revs. So I think, as flighted wedges go, there it is, right? Now the reason why I've just plucked my pitching wedge out is because as soon as I take less loft, I have to hit it softer. As soon as I hit it softer, the flight comes down. As soon as I hit it softer, the spin rate comes down. And all of a sudden, I get the low flighted wedge through the wind that causes me no issues. The other option is that I now go back to my lob wedge at 80 yards. To make this behave in the same way that wedge has, I'm going to have to drop the ball back in my stance. I'm going to have to deliver a loft angle that is significantly less than what it was statically to make the ball come down and to reduce the spin. Well, let's have a little go. So I'm going to move the ball back. I'm not going to open myself up. I'm going to stay square. And I'm now going to try to make the low point of my golf swing feel a bit more shallow. I'm going to try and sweep this off the turf. I'm not going to try and take a divot because, again, that will encourage spin. So back in my stance, I'm going to try to feel like I hood the face a little bit on the way back and hit a shot a little bit lower. Boom, 81.9 yards. But look at the spin rate. It has flown lower at 40 feet, but the spin rate at 9,500 is that almost double the same shot at the same height with my wedge. Let's see if I can pull. The reason why I keep going for that ball is because that's the Titleist RCT ball, which picks up spin really well with the TrackMan. So that's why I keep on using that. So I'm now going to go back. So remember, 40 feet in height. I now need to find an 80-yard swing with my wedge. .83. So look at the difference in spin. That's a 4,000 rev spin rate difference. Now, if you're playing that shot into the wind, you are really going to battle, or if I was playing, sorry, the 9,500 spin rate shot into the wind, you are really going to battle making that ball go through it, of course, aren't you? Because spin rate is resistance. So this sexy idea of flighted wedge or flighted wedges is no more than hitting a wedge shot with less loft than you would do normally. So I'm now going to go another step forwards. I'm now going to take my 8-iron. Now we're really asking something of me. So bear in mind that when guys and girls are playing full time, they're wedging all of the time. They spend an incredible amount of time. And you can see, with a wedge, it took me a fair few goes to find 80 yards. Well, I'm all right at this game, but I don't particularly practice 80-yard wedge shots because I just don't choose to play that shot. But people want to have flighted wedges, lower spin, put it through the wind. Well, if you want to control the spin, or should I say control the speed of the golf club to make the ball go a certain distance, you need to pull out a golf club that you wouldn't otherwise use. Well, that's all of a sudden, you've got to have some skill acquisition for that, haven't you? So you need to practice this. 8-iron I've got here. I'm going to try and hit it 80 yards. Can't say I've tried to hit an 8-iron 80 yards much in the last couple of hours. So let's see. So that really was just a very, very small chip swing. And she's gone 80 yards. Not bad, Stuart. But look at the flight now. Now we're down at 29 feet. And the spin rate is almost the same. It's 1,000 off. It's almost the same as the pitching wedge. So again, you've now made the ball go even lower, even less spin, and hit the 80 yards. So on all three of those shots, 80 yards, I've used the 58, I've used the pitching wedge, and I've used an 8 iron. And depending on the flight, the spin rate that I wanted, depending on the conditions, I've just hit my number. Don't be fooled into trying to change lots of things with your setup. I've played all three of those shots with exactly the same setup as I would usually play. Now, I'm not going to tell you what that is, but understand, and the reason why I'm not going to tell you what that is understand, I just applied the golf club, changed the length of my swing and the speed of my swing to accommodate the distance I wanted to hit it. No more, no less. Let's stop trying to make this game super difficult. Low-flighted wedge is a lovely idea and a lovely term, but if you're standing there and you play a lion's share of your golf shots with a standard 56 or pitching wedge or whatever, keep doing that. But if you then want to turn up on the hole and you want to now play this low-flighted, sexy shot in there, make sure you've practiced it, because it's not an easy shot to play. And as you saw, it took me a few to get it with my wedge. But once you start to dial in, you start to get the feels for it, it can be actually really very useful. Hopefully, that's given you some insight into how to flight your wedges and flight a golf ball that has got less spin, less height. It's super simple, folks, and hopefully that will make you score a little bit better. If you've liked the video, hit the like button, share and subscribe with your friends, and I will be hitting you up with some more information very soon. Take it easy out there, and I'll see you on the next one.